Hey friends, Kyle here. Today we're going to be using Photoshop to remove a person. Let me just show you this guy right here out of the image and turn it into this. Okay, so let me go ahead and delete that. Let's get started. Now first of all, when you bring a picture into Photoshop, I've said this before but I'll say it again, it's going to be locked and it's going to name it background. Rarely do I delete this or change it. I leave it just like it is, and instead I click drag down here to add a new layer, and it makes a copy, it duplicates it. Then I can just turn this one off, and I've always got the original as a backup just in case something was to happen and I need to get back to the original. So let's get started. The first thing we need to do, if I just start deleting, or should I say erasing this guy out of the image, well, one, it's going to leave the background exposed, so that's not going to work. So what I need to do is I need to actually grab all of the face right here, this arm, and all this section right here. I'm going to go ahead and select all that, and I'm going to do that by using the quick selection tool. Okay, you can use the open and close brackets to increase the brush size or decrease the brush size. If you notice, there's a plus in the middle of the selection brush. So as I start selecting, sometimes I'll get too much. For instance, like this. If I hit Alt, it turns into a minus, and it allows you to remove a portion. So basically, you can add, and then you can hold down Alt and take it away. So I need to get all the arm here, all the way to there. Now I can come back holding down Alt. I'm going to shrink the brush size. Holding down Alt, I'm going to get rid of some of the selection here. Obviously, the more time you take, the better your result's going to be. Remove a little bit more of that. It's a water drop coming down the side of his face. I'm just going to leave it. That's probably good, just like that. Let me grab a little bit more of this right here. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Control C and then Control V, and that's going to copy that to a new layer. Excuse me. So basically that's what I have right now. So let me go ahead and turn that layer off, go back to my not original but the previous layer, and now I'm going to grab the clone stamp tool. I'm going to increase my brush size. Now holding down Alt, what that'll do is that'll allow me to come over here to a clean area and make a selection. And let me show you. If I was to grab his eye and click, now I let go of Alt, it's going to give me the ability to duplicate that. Okay, so you can see where that's going to come in handy. I believe I can grab some of this area over here. Let me downsize my brush, grab some of this area, and then just start painting over this guy. Okay, let's grab a new selection. Okay, nothing wrong with that. Turn this layer back on. That fixes the side of his face and his shirt. Okay, turn it back off for a moment. Now we need to grab a section of this water over here that we're going to paste it over here on this section. To do that, we'll get the lasso tool. I don't want to get too far down and start grabbing the shadow. There we go. Now again, I'm going to hold down Control and hit C, and then Control V. Select my move tool, and now I'm going to bring this over here. And what I usually do, so I can see through the layer that I've just copied, I'm going to change my opacity, bring it down to about 50%. That allows me to see what I'm doing through the layer that I just copied. It doesn't have to be perfect because you're creating your own area here. That looks pretty good right there. Okay. Bring that back up to 100. And now we need to get rid of this blue section because the sky over here is a little darker than the sky over here. So we can do that. Make sure your layer's selected. Still this this duplicated section here. Make sure it's selected. And come over here and grab the quick selection tool. Okay, with that selected, hit delete. Control D deselects that area. Now if you notice, there's a line. Let me grab my move tool here. There's a line right at the top of where that blue was. So we need to remove that. It's just a small little piece that didn't get deleted. So I can grab the eraser tool, open bracket to shrink the brush down. Make sure your layer's still selected and just delete that or erase that. Okay, now we can turn this top layer back on, and there you have it. One thing we can do, go in here and touch up. See, it still has a little bit of the shirt in there. So to do that, we select this top layer, grab your eraser tool, get the brush size really, really small. We're just taking out just a little bit of that. And one thing you don't want to do is when you're going down the side of something like this, erasing, you don't want to just hold down your mouse for the entire time and go all the way down, still holding down the mouse, because if you mess up, then you have to undo that, and it's going to undo everything you just did. So just take it in little bite-sized pieces. Just do a little bit at a time. That way, if you have to hit undo, you're not undoing a lot of work that you've already done. Like that, they may have been a little too much. No, that's good. Again, it's up to you how much detail you're trying to get out of it. For something uploading to the internet, whether it's Facebook or Instagram or whatever the picture is going to be used for, that may not even be seen. But there you have it. Hope you learned something, and see you next time.